Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Welcome to The Ray Taylor Show, where I bring you reviews of the latest movies and TV shows, as well as classic and foreign films. I'm your host, Ray Taylor, and on this podcast, I'll be talking about all things film and television. Whether you're looking for a new show to binge or want to know if that blockbuster is worth the trip to the theater, or just want to hear my thoughts on a classic or foreign film, I've got you covered. So join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes, and let's dive into the world of film and television together. On today's episode, I am talking about the 1991 classic, The Addams Family. This is directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, written by Charles Addams, Caroline Thompson, and Larry Wilson. This movie stars Anjelica Huston, Raul Julia, Christopher Lloyd, Dan Hedaya, and Christina Ricci, of course, as Wednesday. In this movie, con artists plan to fleece an eccentric family using an accomplice who claims to be their long-lost uncle. I love The Addams Family. I do, and after watching and loving the newest incarnation in the Netflix series Wednesday, I've wanted to go back and rewatch the 90s Addams Family movies, and then next week I'll talk about Addams Family Values. It's just kind of a great movie in general, but great movies for this time of year, too. I think kind of a good post-Halloween, fall, heading into Christmas. This movie starts on Christmas. The end of this movie is Halloween the next year. So it's, it has that vibe, more lighthearted, right? This isn't a horror movie. This is a comedy, but still has the aesthetic of horror. It has the dark humor that I really love. So I love it. I love the mixtures that you get with and I might even watch the animated Addams Family movie as well. Maybe I'll just keep it going into the newest kind of theatrical versions of this family. Let's take a short break from this episode. Listeners, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine owning a piece of art that not only is visually striking, but also exclusive. Dive deep into the world of The Many Faces, a series that's now available as high-quality, limited edition prints. Each piece captures the essence of abstract and surreal beauty, making it a perfect conversation starter for your space. What makes these prints even more special? They're all hand-signed and numbered by the artist. Me, adding that personal touch of authenticity. And the best part, you don't need to break the bank to own one. Starting at just $5 for a 4x6, the sizes and prices scale up, giving you options to suit your space and budget. Art collectors, enthusiasts, or anyone who loves unique pieces, this is your chance. Elevate your walls and own a piece of limited edition artistry. Head over to inspireddisorder.com and secure your exclusive print today. Now let's get back to the show. But I love the show Wednesday. I loved rewatching this movie. It brought me back to great kind of the aesthetic of family movies in the 90s. Comedies. Like, they're fun. They look a certain way. They're, like, really inventive setups. And just, I don't know, the way it looked and felt, it brought me back. It's just a movie that you can really throw on and just enjoy casually throughout the day. Like, there's just a lot of fun moments in this movie. But, yeah, I love the look of this, as I said. They just don't make these movies, or make movies like this anymore, really. They have, it's weird how the aesthetic has gotten better. The overall filmmaking, I guess, has gotten more cinematic versus what it was like in the 90s, the kind of 90s family comedy style of things. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a budgetary thing. I don't know where it is. I don't know enough to know exactly what the differences are. But family movies don't have this anymore. I don't know what it is, but going back and watching this definitely brought back those feelings. The premise of someone wanting to steal the fortune that this family has. You have the lost family member of Uncle Fester, and this imposter coming in to try and pretend to be him. There's a lot of fun elements to this. Having that this guy who just happens to look like Uncle Fester, if he shaves his head, trying to present himself as this guy. You also get all of the fun kind of quote-unquote sideshow freak family members, right? You have Cousin It, the body covered in hair that, like, squeaks to talk. You have conjoined twins. You have, like, everybody that you, like, all the kinds of characters in many ways that you would see in the pre-code horror movie Freaks, which actually use sideshow performers. You get elements of that in this, which I don't know. I enjoy it. I don't think they actually cast people, though, which would be the big difference between this and the movie Freaks. But I enjoy the family members. I don't know if they're family members or they just show up for the auction. I think the family reunion one is next week. But there were definitely some family members there. I mean, obviously, Flora and Fauna aren't related, but they are people from their past. So old friends, I guess, as well. Friends and family. Also getting to see the Addams family members in the real world is a lot of fun as well, right? As they have to get real jobs, which is ridiculous. To have the disembodied hand get a job in the mailroom makes sense as far as something a hand could do. Delivering mail seems like a great fit, but, like, I mean, come on, who's hiring a hand? But still fun, a lot of fun. Also, like, seeing at one point he's watching daytime TV. Like, daytime TV doesn't even exist like that, because TV doesn't exist like that. Kids staying home from school because they're sick aren't watching Sally Jesse Raphael on TV. They're watching YouTube videos. They're watching Twitch streams. Or they're streaming stuff on a streaming service. But, like, there's no... I don't even think that type of show, like a Sally Jesse Raphael, has an equivalent on a streaming platform. So it's like, I don't even know where those exist anymore. It's kind of crazy. But this movie, so lighthearted, with the great dark humor, obviously, of the family. The siblings always plotting to kill or torture each other for fun is great. Just everything about this movie is just a lot of fun. I love all the elements of it. Right? And, of course, Thing is great as always. But I do want to talk about specifics of this movie, a few specifics. So spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen the Addams Family from 1991, go watch it. If you haven't seen it in a while, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It was a lot. Like, I put it on while I was prepping yesterday, prepping the scripts and everything for the show. I put it on again just to have it on. Like, it's such a fun movie just to have on in the background that you can just kind of casually look over, watch a scene. It's like, oh, that was a lot of fun, and then go back. But I do want to talk about specifics. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled. Anyway, when it first started, I thought it was going to be a Christmas movie because it starts with carolers singing Christmas songs outside of their house, and you see them about to pour this, like, giant cauldron of something onto the carolers. I was like, oh, this is a Christmas movie. But it's not really. It starts at Christmas for some reason. It must have been released maybe on Christmas, which would be funny, or maybe in November. This season it may have been. I love their house. All the different hidden passageways is great. The dark romance between the Morticia and what's his face? The characters' names on this. Let's take a short break from this episode. Hey, loyal listeners of the Ray Taylor Show. You know, it's one thing to tune in and engage with the content I passionately create for you, but what if I told you there's a way to wear your fandom? Introducing our exclusive line of merchandise inspired directly by the vibes and visuals of this very podcast. From stylish t-shirts that'll make you stand out in a crowd to our eco-friendly, biodegradable phone cases, adorned with artwork inspired by the show. You can now carry a piece of the Ray Taylor Show wherever you go. Whether you're looking to make a fashion statement, protect your phone with some flair, or simply want to show off your love for the show, our merchandise has got you covered. Ready to rock our gear? Head over to inspireddisorder.com and get yours today. Wear the show, be the vibe. Now let's get back to the show. But I love their house. Like when he takes Fester to Morticia and Gomez. When he takes the imposter Fester into the vault, which is what he's there for. Just it's like a journey for them to get there. So great. And like, he can't believe that Gomez is showing him. Like, that's what he's there for, to try and trick them. And he's just showing them. But it's too complex. It's not an easy thing. And the whole thing is they want to steal the Addams Family doubloons, right? This guy, I don't know what he does for them, but like, he's out of money. For some reason, his wife goes with him to the Addams Family to pitch them an investment opportunity. So I don't know, maybe he works for the bank. I don't know. And then, of course, he realizes that Gordon looks like Fester if he just shaves his hair off, played by Christopher Lloyd. Great performance from Christopher Lloyd as well. I really love all these characters in this. You have the scene where Morticia is going through Gordon's luggage when he shows up. And every time he thinks, he's like, oh, I'm busted. Right? She sees like dynamite. She sees all the different things that he brought. And she like arsenic. It's like, oh, you think we're going to run out of arsenic? So much fun. Him screaming at night because he's scared to death, and them hearing him scream. It's like, oh, it's so nice to hear him back at home. I love all that stuff. Wednesday is kind of on to him from the beginning. But it's ultimately when he can't figure out how to take off the finger trap is when he gives it away, because that was like his favorite thing growing up. But then he starts bonding with the kids, which is all of that stuff is great, where he sees them having a sword fight and he's like, no, you got to go for a kill wound. You got to go for the jugular. And to see how that carries into the school play the school play is probably my favorite scene in this movie, probably, where it's her and Wednesday and Pugsley having this sword fight while I think they're doing Shakespeare. And he cuts her, and they have fake blood spray from her wound. And when I say blood spray, it is spraying everywhere. Spraying on the audience, and they don't get up, which is great. They just get covered in this fake blood. And Wednesday, he gets a hand cut off. She gets her jugular. They're just spraying blood everywhere. And then Wednesday, like, doing her death cough, just like, for a long time. Amazing. When the family stood up to give a standing ovation, I would have done it as well. But my favorite scene. All the performances in this were great. The family reunion, like I said, was a lot of fun. So many fun characters. The moment when they get kicked out of their house, right? They get a restraining order. They try to go to the court, but of course the judge handling the case is the judge that Gomez hits his golf balls into. So they're not the nicest people. Hitting golf balls into the judge's house, having that backfire on them, and they all have to get jobs. I thought that was all a lot of fun. And then the movie ends with Halloween. They find out that Gordon was actually Fester. He just lost his mind. He lost his memory. Kind of Jason Bourne-esque. When he went to the Bermuda Triangle. So I love that. Great explanation for why this guy just happens to look like Uncle Fester. But yeah, great, lot of fun, so many fun moments. You just put it on, and you just have fun. Just have fun. Really fun rewatch, with so many fun scenes. I'm glad I revisited it. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of The Ray Taylor Show. Very short review. I didn't go in depth, but wanted to bring up some fun stuff. Would love to hear your favorite moments from this movie. The bonding stuff with Fester and the kids was a lot of fun, but I got to say, man, that the school performance was the highlight by far. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Ray Taylor Show. I do hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the Addams Family from 1991. Don't forget to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more movie and TV show reviews. And join the conversation by leaving a comment or rating on your favorite podcast platform or over on youtube.com/inspireddisorder, where all these episodes are available in video form. Until next time, da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na. Subscribe to The Ray Taylor Show on YouTube and everywhere podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Purchase Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.